welcome back to Parking Lot Chats with Corin
and Bo.
So we're gonna finish up our discussion on Mom Talk because I have some thoughts.
Corin has finally finished the, what do you call it, the season 1 of
Season 1.
Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, and
Season
like
1
everyone else that
crazy
finishes
hoes.
it and watches these crazy ass episodes, she has a lot to say.
I do. I got some
So
thoughts.
we are going to finish it out. I know we've talked about it for like this is now the 3rd episode, but it's so fucking wild that it's hard to not like speak on.
Yeah, absolutely.
I told you last weekend or last episode that I asked you, remember I asked you if you'd gotten to the Fruity Pebbles yet? And I said, oh, and you already hate Whitney? So I'd like to now hear your thoughts on
that stupid fucking cunt bitch. That stupid fucking cunt bitch. Like, why do you, and like, oh God. Right, like, why do you feel like that's appropriate? You know what I mean? Like,
So
and like, you knew that she said that this was like a private thing. You knew that this was a private thing with her and her husband.
Right.
And then like,
and whether she brought it to like all the Mom Talk girls or not, like, it's not your, it was the timing. I think the timing in the event was fucking terrible, right? Like, this wasn't like they're at a fucking Galentine's Day party. That wasn't it. Demi.
It was Demi's house. It was Demi's party,
okay,
and her husband's there, and her husband's like setting up this party for you, and you're gonna come in and like embarrass his sex life.
Yeah.
I mean,
it
weird.
Was so fucking
weird.
Like, so fucking weird. And then cry victim. I don't understand why she's mad. What the fuck you literally did that just to like. She is Regina George.
Right, and right. Like, you came in here being malicious. We saw the beginning. You did this to be malicious, and then you're like, why are you mad at me? Oh, you know why she's mad at you.
Yeah.
You know why she's mad at you. You knew that she was going to be mad at you and when you wrapped that shit up, you dumb bitch.
Right. I got you something just for, so fucked up. The whole thing was so fucked up. And the bitch showed up in pajamas. Everyone else was dressed like,
I hate her.
In like cocktail dresses and cute as fuck, and she's in fucking furry pajamas.
That's what you like the fat Carrie Bradshaw when he made that video, and he was like, point of view, Whitney punched you in the face. Yeah. And then she's like, why are you mad at me?
Yeah.
But he like changes his wig every 5 seconds. Yeah. He's so fucking funny.
She was, the whole time we were watching that, I'm like, we kept getting confused on like who she was. Like, we kept having to like remind ourselves like who people were because they changed their fucking looks so much, especially her.
Okay. So you had said before, they're not acting like Mormons. They're not acting like Mormons. Totally true, right? So I saw this other video that I forgot to send anywhere. And now it was like one of those like suggested. So I don't even know who the fuck posted it. You know what I mean? And she said that everybody is technically in the Mormon church except for Michaela and Jesse.
Right.
And I didn't expect Michaela, but then she's made I saw that video like halfway through watching it. So then when I was watching it, like she said a couple of things like, oh, their religion. Like she did say like their thoughts.
What I read recently was that they were raised in it, but they don't no longer
participate. Right. But like Michaela seemed to have some of the same like values, I guess you'd call it. But like Jessie was like her own person, and like good for her. What are they just hanging out with her to get free hair anyway?
Right.
I mean, I liked her, but so from the beginning I had said, because like,
but I'm sure who cares if that's all they're hanging out with her for, because the exposure that her hair extensions just got, you know.
Yeah, right. She got like, her company got a lot.
Freaking amazing.
It is. All their hair looks so good. And then she had like that cute little salon and everything.
Yeah,
I liked her.
Yeah,
I like her. I liked Demi. Okay, so in episode 3, I said, Macy's messy, but I like her. And then later on, I was like, I don't love her allegiance to Whitney. But then at the end, I came back around, and I do like Macy. Whitney thinks she's better than everyone. Jen's a liar, acting like her husband said they can't come when she just... Okay, right. So they had that party, and everybody was in a hot tub, and then Jessie was drinking. And, like, I get that, like, Jessie and her husband drinking at Zach's parents' house is rude because it's their house, and that is their rules or whatever. But then... yeah, when she had her baby sprinkle, she had already invited or baby blessing. She had already invited everybody. And then she asked.
Uninvited them.
Right. And she like asked, like, let Whitney make the fucking decision. She's like, should I uninvite them? And Whitney was like, yeah, they suck. I'm the best. You know? And then she was like, oh, Zach said you guys can't come.
But then you know what's really weird that I thought later on in the season, Jen's husband, because the whole thing was like, well, Jen doesn't, the husband, Zach, doesn't really know Dakota.
I hate him too.
Yeah. Zach doesn't really know Dakota, and you guys aren't just really close, and he just wants only the guys there that he's close with. And then, fast forward, they go to fucking Vegas, and Zach and Dakota go and hang out together the entire time.
And they're best friends now.
And they're best friends. Like, that's weird. That, and the only reason, not, like, it was all just like...
I didn't like how he got mad and then he called Demi's husband, whatever. Why are you...
Yeah.
He's 50 years old. He's sleeping. Not like I don't live with an old man, but so that's how I know. That's how I know.
Right. And he doesn't seem to care.
No, he didn't. He was cool. So I liked the husbands that were cool. Because, like, come on, man. We're chilling.
Those two were weird. But, side note, fast forward to now, I'm pretty sure Taylor and Dakota are broken up. Like,
oh, really? Because I went on her TikTok yesterday.
Yeah, but did you see the post where she was like, back to my 22 self or something like that?
Oh, no. Maybe I was on TikTok 2 days ago.
I
saw them, like, making a video in the airport, and it was, like,
I saw that, too.
And that was the last thing I saw.
But then, within the last 2 days or so, she posted back to my 2022 self or something like that. And from the internet sleuths, that's when she was divorced.
Okay, good. Good for her. Good for her. Good for you, Taylor. And I'm coming around. I'm going to apologize for what I originally said when I called her stupid. I have up here, in my first one, I didn't say all my notes the first time because you didn't watch it then. I had said Taylor stupid, and then I said, wait, Taylor's making some points. And now I am a huge fan. I'm now a huge fan. Okay, back to your, what the fuck, they're Mormons. They do ketamine, though? Yeah. How is that? How is
to
that?
tell the truth or something?
Ketamine therapy, but, like, it's still a fucking horse tranquilizer, guys.
Yeah.
So you can't drink alcohol, and you can't do any drugs, and you're just drinking sodas all day. So, I had mentioned before, personally, I don't think we said this on here, how I follow this woman on YouTube because she's just really funny, stupid, and I didn't know she makes fun of Utah moms, and I didn't know that it was them. I thought maybe she just lived in Utah and thought that the moms were stupid. And so she's always like, got my swig. And that's exactly how she sounds. Her name's Jane something, and she's on YouTube, and it's fucking funny because she acts like so like,
oh my
and
God.
like, I think she was making fun of them the whole time, and I just didn't realize it because I didn't know they were.
I think that's like a Utah thing in general.
Okay, because she like,
I think they're just on TV and it's accentuated, but the vibe I get is that like that's pretty normal out there.
Well, and like all of her skits that she does is kind of like honestly seem like the way they act because she'll be like so like ha 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 and like so two-faced, but like she's talking to herself, you know what I mean? But like,
it's from there? Is she
from
Utah?
And she's like, she's Utah, but like all of her videos are like Utah moms going to Disneyland, Utah moms wake, you know what I mean, stuff like this. But she's like, it's like a character that she plays, and she's like overly making fun of it, but she does also live there. And then at one point she like moved and she like bought a new house, and she's like, do you guys know whose house I bought? And I didn't, but it might have been one of them.
Oh, maybe she bought the green cabinet house because fucking Whitney's cabinets changed.
Oh, maybe. Because she was all like, look whose house I bought.
Like the first episode when she moved back from where'd she go? Hawaii. She was in like a house with green cabinets, and then 11 months later they continued filming, and then you never saw those green cabinets again. And everyone was like, what was that? Probably fake. Remember, the hills taught us, Laguna Beach taught us that none of it is real. Like, remember in Laguna Beach, like they were literally like, there was an apartment that they lived in for filming. It wasn't even their fucking apartment. It wasn't even where they really lived. It was for filming.
Yeah. Right. And they probably did. But, I mean, she did move and come back. And then she did talk about how, like, she bought a different house.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, she did mention it. But, I mean, I don't know that they didn't do that, too, though.
Yeah.
Because, like, even, like, well, I don't know. I was going to say, like, I do think that Taylor's house and Jen's house were real, because when Taylor walked into Jen's house, she was like, is it always this clean? She was like, yeah, he has OCD. I have to keep it clean. And then, like, I remember they did a couple scenes in Taylor's house, and there's, like, it wasn't dirty, but, like, it was, like, my house. Like, there's, like, cups on the table, and, right, like, especially, like, with little kids, there's, like, sippy cups all over the table.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's, like, cups and books all over my table right now. I got, like, 13 books checked out of the library, because whatever. I said, I like Demi. And I like how she handled what she said about Taylor during the truth box. She owned her shit, apologized, and then was like, you know what? You can have the room. I was the bad guy. I'm going to go take the couch or the bunk beds or whatever.
Oh, yeah. Do we think that the truth box was the Fruity Pebbles box?
Oh. I don't know.
I know. I never really compared the two, but I read that somewhere, and I was like, but I never looked into it. But that would be funny.
Honestly, that would be funny. That'd be fucked up, Whitney, bitch.
And Whitney wrote her own cards, because the blue cards, when they're like all filling it out at the table, Whitney's the only one with blue cards. And then when Demi reads the cards and she reads the blue one, it is the question to Whitney about why she doesn't like Taylor.
So is that like fake from the
Like,
show, or is that Whitney?
I don't know. It was like Whitney wrote her own card, but was she told what to write?
Right.
I mean,
Well,
I
because
don't know, but
I saw a video where they were interviewing Taylor and they were asking her about soft swing, and she was like, "I didn't make that up. That's what they told me to call it." She was like, "I'll tell you what we were doing."
it's so funny.
She was like, "It was like we were all partners and we were like doing stuff together, but not like separately." And then the other ones, I completely forgot about them. Oh shit, I hope I sent that video. I think I sent it to our TikTok. Okay, you know what? We'll get there at the end of this. I'm glad that Demi crashed Taylor and Whitney's chat, because Whitney was for sure. And like, okay, so here's the thing. During that chat, Taylor was like, well, why didn't you tell me that you had this problem with me? Is there anything that I could have done? You know what I mean? Like, I couldn't work on that if you didn't tell me. And Whitney was like, I don't want you to work on it. We're not friends. Whitney said, we're not friends. We're not friends. She told Macy, I'm not friends with them. We're not friends. This whole thing's transactional. It was all for the internet. We're not really friends. And then 10 minutes later is crying about how no one's her friend.
Yeah.
And no one checked up on her because she left the group
Oh
chat.
my
And
God,
like,
the whole no one checked up on me was so...
you told them you weren't their fucking friend.
Yeah.
You said you didn't want to. So I've been in a situation where, you know, like people grow and they change. And I had some friends and then some things changed. And I felt like, you know, I don't really want to be friends with y'all. And I tried to talk to one of them and she was like, look, this is just how people are. And I was like, you know what? That's cool. And I just took a step back. I didn't say anything because I tried to talk to you.
Yeah.
You said that's just how people are. Okay, cool. I'm going to take a step back. So I just stopped, you know, responding to things, or I was just like real polite, just stopped going to stuff. I never once was like, y'all aren't my friends.
You know,
why aren't you guys asking me why I'm not your friend? Like, if you don't want to be friends with somebody and you decide to take a step back, you can't be like, why aren't you guys my friends? What the fuck is wrong with you?
Right. Like, you don't have to be friends with them, but then don't get mad when they're not
your friend.
Acting your friend. Like, you literally, I don't know. She's just like a cry for help. Like, it's like the boy who cried wolf. Maybe not even that. Like, she just has like this victim mentality that's really annoying.
Right. And it's like, and like you watch her, and then I saw some people on her TikTok are like, oh, I'm sure you didn't know they were going to paint you in that light. I don't know how it could have went on another way.
Right.
With the way that you acted. I mean, I'm sure they edit, like you said, you know, it's fake and they edit things and they do, but like over and over and over. It's like after that scene, it's like every fucking other scene, she's like, why is nobody my friend? Oh, you told them you weren't their friend. Right. You said it. And I said, Whitney's delusional. She thinks that Momtok wouldn't work without her, because it does. She's out of her mind, acting like she would call them if one of them left the chat. She literally just said she doesn't think they're her friends. On the girls' trip, Whitney didn't want to talk about shit, but shows up to Layla's party to confront Jesse. Yes. And she didn't want to have them conversations.
Right.
When it was, y'all were in the house together and you guys could have literally fucking bare knuckle boxed it out. Nobody else in the way, no kids around, but no. Nope. Okay. She's so mad that everyone hates her, but she just said that she didn't like them or consider them her friends anyway, so literally I just kept writing that because she kept fucking saying it.
Right.
Actually, I don't know about Macy because of her weird allegiance to Whitney. I do think Macy's right that Dakota sucks, though. Professional pictures thing was rude and weird. That was rude and weird.
That was
so rude and weird. Yes. And, like, Taylor, too, honestly, like, I like her, but she should have been like, no, this is Whitney's thing. She should have put a stop to
like,
that. What is he doing?
Like,
she paid for a photographer.
Macy paid for a photographer for her product, not for, like, your fucking personal baby shoot. That was fucking weird.
That's like when people go to someone else's wedding and they're like, get the professional photographer. Like, I've never seen it in real life, but, like, I've seen it, like, on Reddit, where, like, the mother-in-law comes up and tries to get, like, pictures of her and her new husband. It's like, no. If someone buys a photographer for their event, that's their photographer. It's got shit to do with you. Yeah. Doesn't matter. We haven't had professional pictures done. That's not her problem. Go to Jesse Penny.
Shirtless and shit. Yeah. Like, it was a whole fucking shoot. Like, a pregnant... That was fucking weird.
That was so weird. About that. Yeah. That was so weird. Did Taylor have Macy come over to clear the air with Dakota so she could have moral support while she did? Good for her. Okay. Yeah, right. She, like, had Macy come over so that her and Dakota could talk, and then she went in on Dakota.
Yeah.
Good for her. Taylor's mom is so immature. You were right. You got me on that one. Telling her to text him if she's in labor to get him to answer. And then also when she called Whitney from the baby shower.
Yeah. Her mom was a little...
So, you know what? I take back Taylor being stupid. It's her mom's fault she's stupid.
Yeah.
You can't be right. The mom's still got, like, a 14-year-old mentality.
Right.
I'm gonna call her. How? Nobody cares. What the fuck is the appeal to Zach? He's ugly and controlling and has a gambling problem. I stand by that.
Yeah. Gambling problem, for
and
sure.
Ugly,
and then mad at her when he's out gambling away her money. Like, and she wasn't even, like, doing anything wrong. Like, she wasn't the one, she wasn't rubbing oil all over those guys. Like, she was standing off in the back. She could tell she was uncomfortable. She didn't know they were going there. Like, she had literally nothing to do with it. and then she left and stayed the night with him. That's the only reason.
Well, she stayed up until 2 a.m. fighting with him on the phone. He wouldn't let her come over because he was too busy gambling. He didn't let her come till he ran out of money. I bet, that little hoe.
Right. And that's the only reason him and Dakota went to Las Vegas.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Just so he could gamble. And he was like, you said you'd give me, and you could tell by her face when he said that
to
she
watch
never said
her.
it. Oh,
like,
yeah,
so
watch
that,
her.
like,
Yeah, you're right, for sure. But you see her face in the bedroom when they were talking before they left, and he was like, you said you'd give me this money to gamble. And she was like,
yeah.
But she can't argue with him.
Right. Like, what are you freaking, what like leg do you have to stand on when you're literally asking her for money to gamble, but then you want to tell her what she can and can't do? Fuck off.
I know. Jen is delusional about her relationship, talking about how people just say they're controlling, not really love them too much. This is textbook victim speech. Yeah. When she was like talking to Taylor, and she was like, people just think that they're controlling, but they just love us so much. No.
Yeah.
No, my dear, that's not that. I will say, though, the whole Chippendale thing, I felt like that was a little out of pocket on Jesse's behalf to not even tell them, not because of their husbands, but because of their own values and views. Like, did you really think that, what I mean?
I could agree with that.
And, like, I think that it's stupid that the real problems were the guys and not the girl. But, like, Michaela, her husband clearly didn't care, and she still didn't want to be there. You know what I mean? So, like, I feel like that's, like, I have no issues with strip clubs. I used to, like, sell shots and fucking cocktail waitress in strip clubs. So, like, I don't care.
Right.
But I understand that there's some people that, like, would never want to step foot in that kind of place. Especially, like, men's strip clubs are so much grosser. Because here's the thing. No matter what your sexual orientation is, a woman's body is attractive, right? Nobody really wants to see a penis jumping around on stage.
Right.
I've been to a male strip club.
See,
it's not
I didn't
cute.
know Chippendales was full nude. I had to ask someone.
It's not cute. It's not cute. And that's my opinion.
Yeah.
I would still go because I'm not a prude. And not that, like, being a prude's a bad thing, but, like, this is clearly, like, their values, their religion, whatever. So, like, I feel like that was a little out of pocket for her to just, like, buy these tickets and be like, we're going to Chippendales without running it past these people when you know that they're super modest. You know what I mean?
Correct.
But
and then
stupid.
I wonder how much, back to what was fucking
planned.
What
was real?
Was she even the one that planned it, or was she told what the fuck they were doing? Because they they didn't record. But no, they had to have, like, been given special access to be in the back.
Well, she said she bought VIP tickets.
Oh, she did say that.
She said that she bought, and, like, it was after her vaginoplasty or whatever the fuck it's called.
Yeah.
So, like, but I believe that there's a chance that the producers told her to do that because it would be fun. Oh, Amber Alert, this can't be a county. If y'all see this child, Daryl Fulmer the third.
Oh, baby.
Okay, now my watch won't stop, though.
All right, now there's mine.
There's your Amber Alert for the day. If you see these people.
Kidnapped child.
I don't know, but it's the parent. Sometimes I don't, you know what I mean? When it's the parent, I'm like,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Even though they could still be in danger. There's, like, that. I don't know. I've seen a thing on Facebook where, like, a parent kidnapped the kids and, like, the mother never saw them again.
Oh, so that is terrifying.
So, like, it can be,
yeah, it can be a problem. It can be a problem. Right,
but it's not, I guess it's not as, like, when, on the outside, it's not as, like, scary, I guess.
Right.
Than, like, being abducted by a fucking complete stranger and, like...
Right.
Yeah, but I have seen when, like, the parents take and then they...
Or I've heard, not here, but I've heard stories where, like, the parents do hurt the child to get back at the other parent.
Right.
I don't know. Okay, I don't want to get into that because I'm going to cry. Okay. Whitney is still bitching that they're not her friends, but she said there wasn't her friend. And then she said, she's like, I'm glad I decided not to go to that trip. You weren't invited.
Yeah.
You weren't invited. And her husband is such a gossiping asshole. And I think I'm going to get to there because I'm not even there yet. I still have more thoughts about the whole trip. I hate Dakota. Why is he calling Demi's husband? But I like Demi's husband. And when Dakota was saying strippers are probably dancing on Taylor, and he said, that's not happening. Because he was like, Dakota was on the phone. He's like, and all I can think about is, strippers are probably dancing up on Taylor. And Demi's husband was like, bro, that's not happening. I like him. And then I wrote, Demi is too real, LMAO. I don't even know what that was about. Anything, I'm sure. When Taylor hung up on Dakota for being an asshole and said, why'd he call me? That was good. Oh, so here, Whitney's husband. Whitney's husband is obnoxious. I just found out something crazy, but I know you don't want to be in the drama. So do you want to know? You can't do that. You can't be like, hey, I heard something cool, but you might not want to know. No, if you heard something cool, you tell the person.
Right.
You get so fucking weird. Obnoxious. This is some 8th grade fucking gossiping bullshit. And then Whitney is insane and delusional. Oh, yeah. She was agreeing with Zach. So he was telling her the whole thing, and she was like, oh, yeah, well, Zach has a point. Fuck Zach. And then she made the right decision by not attending this event. You weren't
were not invited.
You were definitely not fucking invited.
Because you took yourself out of the group chat.
Oh, and I had to rewind so I could get this quote. Yes, he has these narcissistic traits about him, and like they come out in situations like this, like every few months, but who's to say in another marriage that won't be the same thing? If you don't marry another narcissist, it won't be. What do you mean? What do you mean? That was obviously Jen.
Right.
Everyone gets married before their brains are developed, and that's the problem is so real. I think either Jesse or one of them said that. One of them said that they all get, maybe it was even Michaela. Somebody said that, and I was like, you know what, you're right. They're getting married at 16.
Right.
Their brains aren't fully developed. That's the problem. Dakota's so dumb. Not true. That's it. Oh, yeah. She said when Macy got that blind confession that someone slept with him, and he was like,
oh, yeah.
Oh, it's not true. That's so dumb. That's it. What do you...
Yeah, and then
We're supposed to believe that?
Right. Like, why would someone... I mean, I guess people like to fuck people's relationships up, so I guess there is, like, that possibility that someone said it just to fucking cause drama, but, I mean, come on.
Right.
I'm gonna guess that's why they're not together.
Yeah, I think it was that. Well, we saw Macy calling at the end, but we never heard.
But that Jenna girl, if the internet peoples are right, they had found her, and like she made a TikTok saying like, "Oh, I've got dirt on me and Dakota." Like, so I don't know. I think
her.
more shit just happened. Hopefully, they were filming.
Me too. I hope so too. I said, vice versa, he was trying to turn around on Taylor, and then I wrote, Dakota is so dumb with like 5 O's. Oh, yeah. He said that Macy was self-sabotaging him and Taylor. That's not how that word works. Self-sabotage is if you're ruining it. Someone else can't self-sabotage you.
Dakota, you're self-sabotaging yourself.
Yeah, you can't. Someone else can't self-sabotage you. That's not how that word works. Right, and then, so the whole time that he goes to confront Macy, and he's so mad that Macy told her all this, he never denied it to Macy.
I didn't catch that.
He never said
it was a very awkward conversation, and I felt so bad when Macy drove off. I was like, oh my God, girl, why are you leaving? Like, stay there so you can kick him the fuck out of your car. Like, now you're stuck with him for this drive to go get fucking soda.
The soda.
Yeah,
so
like,
fucking weird.
Don't drive away, because stay where his car is in distance.
And like, kick him out.
And kick him out when he's fucking annoying.
Yeah, he never, in the whole, I mean, unless, again, it's edited, whatever.
I know.
But, like, in the whole conversation that I saw, because I was waiting for him to, he never said it wasn't true to Macy. He got mad at her.
Yeah.
He tried to flip the script, but he never denied it to Macy.
And tried to blame her for his...
Yeah, it was obviously her fault.
Their problems. Like, what?
It's obviously her fault for bringing it up.
Right. She's like, what? I'm just supposed to, like, get that? She's like, I didn't ask for the fucking blind. Like, I'm not going to get it and not fucking say something.
Is this what you made your TikTok about? You made a TikTok? You made a video somewhere. I want to say TikTok. And you were like, everybody watching the last episode. And you were like...
Yeah.
The cake? Yeah, the fucking cake?
Yeah.
Why would you bake something that you peed on?
So fucking disgusting.
What is your problem?
So fucking
What is your problem? And I saw your TikTok and I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna. And then that episode started and I was like, oh, this is what Kim's talking. This is what that was about.
She says, well, the cap was on it. Bitch. There was like backsplatter and shit. There was pee on that fucking stick. You peed on the stick.
And baked it into a cake?
And then put it in a cake. What the fuck?
That's the grossest thing I think I've ever heard.
Even if it was in a Ziploc bag, it would still fucking be gross.
Either way. You don't put... I can't believe that you have to say this, but you don't put something that you've peed on into food. That's not...
At all. I don't care if it's wrapped. I don't care if it's like, you think it's contained. Oh, the fucking cap. It's fucking disgusting. And then bring it to a restaurant with a table full of people. Like, I guess if you weren't intending to, like, feed the cake, like, if you're gonna do that, put it in, like, a small cake. And then, like, have a backup cake that doesn't have your pea stick in it that people can eat, I think. I don't know. Maybe don't even do it at all. Like, color the fucking frosting.
Like, maybe just don't do this.
Like, color the fucking frosting.
And, like, why do we need big announcements for, like, what, your second, third kid? You know what I mean?
It was so fucking weird. And put a fucking ultrasound picture in it.
Right. You can get those, like, burn cakes now where, like, it'll burn away and then there's a picture underneath. Like, you don't have to put something that you peed into. Who puts something that you peed on into
It
food?
was so disgusting. And she like totally like she fucking buckled down and defended that. Even like you know when they do like the interviews and they're like sitting in the chairs? That's like way after the fact, right? Like where they're interviewing about what happened.
I think it was before the last one though, because Taylor was still pregnant in her seats.
Oh yeah, but not in that.
But not all of them.
In that last episode, I don't remember.
Maybe she didn't do any because she went into labor.
Yeah, I don't remember actually, but I'm pretty sure that's like after the fact. Then they like interview.
Yeah, and she was just like,
and she's like, well, that's when she's like, well, even the interviewer was like, that was the stick you peed on, and she's like, yeah, I had the cap on it. The fuck, I can't.
There's no like backsplash on the applicator.
I can't. It was disgusting.
I said, Zach is terrible. Okay, yeah, so when they're having the conversation and he wants to move to New York for his med school, and then she's like, well, Momtok's important to me. And he's like, I don't care. First of all, you should care about what's important to your partner, but that also pays your bills.
But also, yeah.
It pays your bills.
You should, like, so she's supposed to give up, oh, fuck him.
I hate that guy.
She's supposed to, like, give up, like, what, like, she is, like, creating for herself so that she can, then pay for him for his own career? Fuck you.
I don't care.
Yeah. Go back to mommy and daddy and let them pay for your med school then.
Albino looking motherfucker. Not that albino's a problem, but I'm just looking for something to pick on him about. I have some albino people that I really like, so that was mean. I didn't mean that. But he looks like an albino Lord Farquaad. How's that?
Yeah, that fucking hair's gotta go.
Yeah. Why would Whitney show up at Michaela's birthday after she just skipped her best fucking friend's launch party?
So
fuck you stupid fucking bitch. That was worse than the pee stick.
She wasn't even invited to the birthday party.
She wasn't even invited.
But she was invited to the launch party.
She was expected at the launch party. And then they all unfollowed her when they hit one,
they were all bracing
a little
to
petty, but that's fun. I like it.
Yeah, they were all like bracing to be cordial because it was Macy's thing and like expecting to see her. And then she doesn't fucking go to that. Like, that's fucking important. Like, that was
the this party you weren't invited to?
But yeah, then you show up to a birthday party you weren't invited to where they all dress terrible to fucking roller skate.
They're so stupid.
Like, mini skirts to fucking roller skate?
Michaela had like a fucking leather mini dress on.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
What? And then she's like, I asked everyone to wear sparkles and then fucking Demi, whatever, shows up in fucking a full jean onesie thing. Like, oh, you didn't get the fucking sparkle memo. The other bitches got the sparkle memo and decided to show their ass.
Yeah. No, none of them were dressed for roller skating. None of them. Nope.
I don't know. It was wild. I'm gonna watch season 2 because...
Oh, I'm not even done.
Okay.
If you were trying to talk to Macy, why didn't you? If you want to support her so much, why couldn't you go to her party, but you show up here? I know you just kind of touched on that, but like, I just don't...
place to even like have the conversation. Like, why are you pulling away? Well, although she could have like done that at Macy's too, taken away. Maybe she just didn't. Maybe she's so fucking manipulative and conniving that she didn't show up at Macy's because she didn't like actually out of respect didn't want to make me. This is me being like.
You're giving her way too much credit.
No. She didn't want to take Macy's shine. Like, out of all the girls, she likes Macy. So she wants to argue with her friends and she wants to be the center of attention, but she didn't want to do it to Macy. So instead, she didn't go and then decides to take the shine from...
I still think you're giving her too much credit. I don't think she would be that considerate to Macy.
I don't know. But why show up at like that and not that? Like, that doesn't even make any sense.
Like, I want to support you. Then why didn't you fucking go, you stupid bitch? Because she never said, oh, no one likes me. Because you know no one likes you. My point is, like, she didn't even say that. Like, it wasn't like, oh, I didn't want to go because no one liked me. She never explained it. Ugh. And then she said, and that's why I'm going to take a step back from mom talk. A bitch that was kicked out.
Yeah, bitch, you're not taking a step back. You're not invited.
And then I said, so he's making Jen quit mom talk, but how's she going to pay for them? And then...
Yeah. And apparently they did move, but then, like, I don't know. I don't follow any of them, but they, like, come up on my For You page, and there was a video of Jen... I don't know where they moved to, actually. But
I sent the one from New York.
A video of them, like, walking and saying that they were moving back.
I put that on our story because I was learning that you can... put someone's comment.
And then she's like, well, let's take a year off and then start med school. Med school's 10 years. And I'm like, that's a terrible idea too. Because now you're talking about 11 years before he's fucking done. Like, y'all just go your separate ways. Let him go off to med school. flunk out of it because he's a fucking idiot. And you continue on Mom Talk and grow yourself to be
the bad bitch that you could
the
be if
bad
you
bitch
got
that
rid
you
of
are.
that fucking Farquaad motherfucker.
And probably go to Jess for your hair.
Yeah.
I don't think she does. Sometimes her hair was looking rough.
Yeah, her hair was a little wild sometimes. But,
Yeah.
I mean, not like I've got room to talk, but...
I mean, I don't either, but...
You got a friend that'll do your hair.
Everyone else's hair looked so good.
Except for Whitney.
Yeah, Whitney's was a...
Her hair was terrible the whole time.
She just couldn't make up what she wanted.
Just stupid. And she baked her pea in a cake like a
It
fucking
was so
weirdo.
It was so weird. I was like complete shock when I saw that. I don't think I maybe didn't pay attention to TikToks and stuff about it when they like, because when that came, I was like, is this fucking serious? Yeah. There's definitely going to be a season 2. Surely that's picked up.
Oh, yeah. It has to be.
I'm pretty sure I saw a TikTok of them making something and there was like cameramen in the background.
Okay. Yeah. I just saw one the other day and they were like making a video. They were like doing something. It was like Jen and Macy and someone else, and they were in New York. They came to visit her, and you could see the cameraman in like a mirror in the background. Yeah. Okay. But let me talk about this real quick because I was about to try to switch it up and then... Okay, no, we'll talk about that later. I don't think I sent it to you. I think I sent it to this. So did you know about the other girls that had been the original? So it was Taylor and 2 others, apparently.
Yeah, those are the soft swinging
Camille and Miranda.
People. Those are the swinger people.
Did you see all the whole, like, timeline of it?
I don't know.
I've seen the show. I've listened
she
to
made, like, a float.
I've
okay.
seen the video breakdowns. Here is the
How do you
official
press
breakdown of the secret lives of
What do you want to... You just want to
make
fast
it faster,
forward it?
Yeah.
You should be able to...
In the simplest way, is overwhelmed and leaves to go to a friend's house. Taylor says she was extremely intoxicated that night and just wanted to escape.
I don't know if that, like, helps or do we care about this flow chart?
I mean, I just don't know. That's hard to, like, show on here. But I know that there was the 2 girls that were originally part of Mom Talk that, like, and then those were the ones that were her best friends that she was swinging with.
Right.
And then, you know, she slept with the one's husband, and then the soft swinging couple, she fell out. I think there's actually, like, a 3rd girl, but I don't know much about it.
So, apparently those 2, I didn't even go to their page because I just was, like, reading things. And apparently those 2 Hulu had approached them first. Oh. And they said that they would be interested in doing it, but only if Taylor wasn't. And they said, oh, no, we're going to talk to Taylor for sure.
Right.
And Taylor was like, I'll do it with whoever.
Yeah, because those 2 never actually admitted to any of the swinging. It's all speculation that those are the ones that... Because Taylor never... And all the talking she's done, she's never said who it was.
Right.
She just says best friend, whatever. So, like, there's speculation that that's who it is. But those 2 have never come out and, like, admitted to being the other couple. So, like, if you're going to do a reality show that's going to keep people talking, you want the girl that's, like, not fucking afraid to talk.
Right. So, I'll, like, repost this just so that we have it on our parking lot chat TikTok because I don't know how to make things go from here to Instagram.
I've seen the show. I've listened to the pod.
And then... Did you know about Brett and Demi?
How young they are? Like how young she was? Oh, yeah, I know.
And that her and her ex-husband put him on The Bachelor?
Yes.
I didn't know all that.
And then his ex-wife is a Salt Lake City, like, Utah
a Real Housewife. Yeah, I didn't know any of that.
Yeah. And she knew him when she was, like, 8. Like, same circle of friends.
Yeah, like he's
but
like
then they didn't start, like,
or something?
Dating or anything until... After she divorced, after he divorced, after he was on The Bachelorette. Actually, like, right after The Bachelorette. Like, she nominated him for Claire Crawley's season, which was 2020. And then that got cut short because, like, the fucking world shut down and they all went home. And then that's when those 2 started hanging out. And then he was, like, spotted with her while, like, The Bachelorette was, like, still... he was still, like...
A contestant.
Yeah, like that season got weird. Like it never I don't remember what happened because it did get finished because she did end up did it get finished? I don't know. That whole season was weird because of the 2020. She ended up with someone, but I don't remember if it was like someone from the season. Anyways, yeah, there was like this whole thing around those 2. So they didn't go on until like they didn't start dating until later on in life. But they knew each other when she was like 8 and he was like married with a fucking kid.
I mean, I don't mind an age gap, but like a reasonable age gap. And like once
Yeah.
you're everybody's
I mean,
of
it's
age.
always, yeah,
Once
and
everyone's
like,
of age.
I mean, when you do it as of age later, I get it, like, but when you put it into perspective like that, it's weird.
Right. Well, like sometimes, like even Eric and I were like 9 years apart. So like like I'll say something about like middle school or high school, and he's 20 something at that point. You know
Right.
what I mean? So even that gets kind of like,
Yeah. Yeah,
uh,
like when you think back, you're like, when
right,
we were younger, that's a really big age gap. But I guess as you get older, that age gap doesn't feel as broad.
right. Like
You know what I mean?
until we say like something weird and obscure, like I feel like we're the same age. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then like I'll say something about like the Goofy movie.
But then like when you were kids, like what's your nostalgia is not the same. Like
right, right. Like we don't know like the same like shows
Yeah.
and stuff like. Like I'll watch like old Nick shows and I'll be like, oh my god, can you believe this? And he's, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And then we even have an even weirder situation, and I didn't realize I grew up watching cartoons at my grandmother's house and didn't realize that they were like VHS tapes that she had from when her kids were kids. So I'm talking about like Hanna-Barbera and like the Flintstones and stuff, and he's like, well, those cartoons were before my time. And I'm like, but I watched them all the time. But I watched them on a VHS tape at my grandmom's house.
Right.
So I got like all confused with my timeline then. So I was like, why do I know like 50s cartoons
Right.
from the 50s?
Hmm.
But it was tapes.
We had like, I mean, I watched all that shit too, but I don't know. What was Saturday morning cartoons?
I don't know, Recess?
I don't know. I'm sorry. If you can hear the buzzing, my phone is just going off. And it's because I have like my Ring doorbell. Like my Ring alarm right now because they're working out my front yard. So it 31 notifications right now. Yeah. So if you hear buzzing, that's what it is.
It's just the kids.
It's just the phone.
It's just
Okay, so obviously we're moving on from Momtok. That was it until season 2. Like, if
Or
you
I see
haven't
something cool on
watched it
TikTok.
and you don't care that we just fucking spoiled it all for you, you should watch it. Because even though we probably spoiled a lot of like the surprise shit, like the cake and stuff, it's still a wild fucking show. So
it's worth it. It's worth it.
yes, you need to know who these people are. You need faces.
You need my notes
To what we just talked about. But so
moving on to the big story.
Last week, literally an hour after we got done recording, because our podcast comes out on Wednesday, but we record usually on Monday nights. And literally an hour after we got done recording it, our phones started, the social media went off that Diddy got arrested. And we were like, fuck, we don't have to wait an entire week to talk about it. So let's fucking talk about it.
No bail.
No bail. He offered like $50 million bail. Like
And they said
and they said nope. Okay, so did you know that
this is going to be such a shit show? Like, this is going to be like a really big, like, I think this is going to be like a lot of big figures.
Yeah.
Like, this is going to be.
He's going to get
suicided. Yeah,
he's
going to
get Epstein.
They put him on a suicide watch.
Well, Epstein was on a suicide watch too.
Yeah. You're right.
And he, did you know that the U.S. Attorney General, right? Is that what it's called?
Yep.
That arrested him.
Yep.
That's not the same as like a cop, like a state cop knocking on your door and there's a warrant for your arrest and then you go to trial and you have to be proven guilty. When the federal jurisdiction arrests you, they already know you're guilty.
They have that case set up.
They have to go in front of a jury and prove their case before they're even allowed to arrest you. So he's already been like indicted. Like,
this is real.
Yeah, like he's already been proven like in front of by a jury guilty, and then they arrest you.
And now we're all gonna hear it.
So that's why there was no fucking bail set. And then I saw something that was like, oh, he's gonna try to ask again and say that there will be no women over his house. We're like, wait.
I heard that he did say that in the beginning, that he was like, there will be no women and this and that.
Yeah.
But like, from what I understand, it wasn't just women that he was sexually terrorizing. I think that's the correct term.
Correct. I mean, it's wild, and it was like a 14-page indictment that like went over. There was sex trafficking, there was drug charges, racketeering, like organized fucking crime, because they're pretty sure like the Diddy Enterprise was like,
yeah,
it was a whole thing. Like it wasn't just him. He had this whole fucking group of people that were like in on it with him. That like,
whatever happened to Farnsworth Bentley?
Who was
Remember?
that? Remind
He
me.
was like Diddy's umbrella holder a couple decades ago, and he was like all
The real
over, and he just
skinny dude?
disappeared. Yeah, remember him?
Yeah. What? That's weird. Where is he?
I don't know. I don't know. It just popped into my head while you were talking. So I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know if he is somewhere and everyone else knows it. But
I don't know. I just feel like
I gotta Google it
when
now.
you look at like the spider web of Diddy, there's so many people
That's what I'm saying.
involved. But then you wonder, like, the Epstein stuff, right? I mean, we just
I guess he's
mentioned,
okay.
like, there were so many people in his spider web too, and like, we still don't know any of it.
All right. So remember, so when I got in the car, I was like, I just had a thought. I have to Google it. Let me see, and then I'll tell you later. Okay. So did you see that Twitter? Usher deleted
All of his Twitter,
his
yeah,
whole Twitter,
and so did
Pink.
Oh, Pink did too.
That's what I just saw.
Megan
online.
Fox did too.
And Usher lived with Diddy when he was a teenager.
Yes, he was
Curiouser
like his mentor.
and curiouser.
He was his mentor, and then Justin Bieber lived with Usher.
Mm-hmm.
Like his parents. I don't know. I never looked into it. This is just a little bit of like what I hear, and I don't know. Like I always feel like I don't know the full truth. And like internet, like sometimes when it comes to shit like this, even Googling it isn't gonna tell you the truth.
No,
you know what I mean?
and even I Google anything, I take like 3 things and read them.
Yeah, especially now. Like once all this has come out, the news that's gonna pop up when you Google something is so tainted by like what's happening right now that like you really wouldn't even get. I feel like a true
reading of the situation.
Reading unless you went back in like articles, you know, years back or whatever. But my understanding that I hear is that Usher was given rights, like I guess almost parental rights in a way to Justin Bieber.
Oh. So I wonder if Diddy had the same thing over him.
Right. And then there was like those videos that circulate now where like Justin spent like a weekend at Diddy's house when he was like real little, and like Diddy's like, "Oh, I've got him for the next 48 hours. I'm not his legal guardian, but I'm his guardian for the next 48 hours." And I don't know, man.
Poor little Beebs.
Okay. We watched, I mean, this is like scrolling from Diddy, but not really. We watched Bieber like go at a high of high, right? Like when he was little as fuck, like went on this like uphill, like and soared to fame over like Usher, supposedly Usher finding him on a YouTube, right? Like that's how we were all told he got his start. Like Usher discovered him making YouTube videos, and he just shot to fame. I mean, he was cute. He had a great he was like the perfect little boy, like for girls. You know, like boy image for like young girls. Like he had a great voice.
He was like JTT from our day.
Yeah, like he had a great voice. He was cute, and so they saw like dollar signs with him, and he was Canadian and lived in LA, so like obviously, there is like a work visa you can get, like I don't know. They say, but then as he got older, we watched like so many other child stars, him go through so much shit, and there was so much shit talked about Bieber. Like I just remember everyone that loved him all of a sudden hated him because you could see that he was struggling, but like there was just so much, like I don't know what they did to Britney, like just so much hatred and like shit talking and bashing. And you wonder, like, if that was him coping with what probably happened to him when he was younger. And this is all speculation. Like, obviously, we don't know. And then, like...
But it makes sense.
Right. And now you have him where he's finally seems to be doing okay. He started a family. Like, he's married. He seems to be, like... When you see him in videos and stuff, he doesn't seem like he's on drugs. Like all those like past videos and photos where he was like really fucked up, you know,
right,
downward spiral.
There's like a video of him like walking down the street in New York City, like taking a bump.
Right. Like, he was.
Yeah.
And now all of this is about to come out. And I just hope that like he
protects his peace.
Yeah.
We're sending you love and light, Justin Bieber.
Yeah, like I just feel like he's like the male like Britney Spears. Like we're all watching this like
poor kid.
Yeah, although he seems to have had a good family around him, thankfully.
Which
Like,
she doesn't.
I don't know. I guess good family. I don't know. His mom fucking really gave away print. Maybe that's not true. That's just what people say. So I don't know if how much of that is true. If she really gave away like parental rights to Usher when he was
I'll tell you, I wouldn't do that.
no,
I don't care how much money's offered. I'm not giving Usher custody
no,
of my child.
no.
After Puff Daddy had custody of him at 14. I don't fucking think
Right.
so.
Like, why did she even? I don't know. It's all very
I
weird.
don't know.
There's
People
gonna
are
be
weird.
so much that
I feel like
comes
this is going to be so crazy.
out.
Like the backlash of this, not the backlash, the unraveling of it
Right.
all.
Like it could truly change the music industry.
I think there's a good chance. I think that there's a lot of way higher ups that like names we don't even fucking know. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, then didn't like the guy from BMG Records step down?
Oh, so that's another thing that I wrote down. So not just
Right?
that, but so apparently in the last like week, a bunch of CEOs stepped down from like multiple companies, and there was speculation that it was a stock market thing. I bet it's Diddy.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because from what I understood, like
Maybe
he
it's not
wasn't just
BMG, I don't
involved
remember.
in the music industry. Like he's involved. Like Diddy's a big name and has been for 30 fucking years. Like I remember middle school. Diddy was popular. You know what I mean? So like it wasn't because it was like last week. It was after he got indicted. It was like 6 to 10. I don't know exactly, but like CEOs of like major fucking companies and like not just music industry.
Right.
Like all across the board, major CEOs were resigning, and everybody was like, "Oh, I wonder if something's going on in the stock market. Oh, I wonder what's going to happen." And I was like, "Man, I think this is Diddy. I bet." You think he's not tied to politicians and businessmen?
Right.
You think he's not sex trafficking for everyone? All
I
right,
mean,
go.
it's the same. I was just looking it up. Like who? Um. Here are all the people who stepped down within 24 hours of Diddy's arrest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. I mean, but some of those people, like, you don't really know. It doesn't really say who they are, like what they
They might
were
not
a
all
part of,
necessarily
but
be involved in, but I bet a few of them are.
yeah, it just seems, the timing seems
And
off.
like Rutgers
Whoops.
is right, and like that's in Jersey. That's like close to like where he is in. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, I think that this is gonna be very interesting. I do feel for all the victims, but I am glad that it's gonna come to light because I feel like for so long there's been so many people in positions of powers that are straight up fucking predators, and I love that like some of them are gonna get what they deserve at least.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like good. I'm ready to see
Yeah.
who it is.
What about like, I mean, this is all alleged. But I saw a video of, because I don't know, it's all so weird. Like Jay-Z and like how he's like wrapped up in all of it. And then like the people who he signed, like he signed Rihanna, who was brought over by somebody, I forget who, brought Rihanna over, young as fuck, like 16, put her in a room in a hotel and like coerced her to sign. And then like there's an interview of her with Tyra Banks on the Tyra show
Tyra Banks is a fucking bitch.
that said that like Rihanna said she was in this hotel room where like she was offered the to sign with Jay-Z's label. Jay-Z's in there and this other guy who brought her over, I can't remember his name right now, and he says there's two ways out of here. One with you sign this deal and the other one through that window and we're 42 stories up. Like she says this.
And
like we
not
just
even
like,
an adult.
but yeah, she's not even an adult. She's 16, and like her parents aren't in the room. Like her parents didn't come with her. She came over with like the guy who represented her in Barbados. You know what I mean? Like so, I don't know. I don't know why parents send their fucking 16-year-old over to fucking America with a guy that's I don't know. But she says this like she doesn't joke. I mean, the video cuts off, so I don't know like if she laughs after or, but.
Probably not, because that's not funny.
I don't know. Like, yeah, that's fucking weird.
It's terrifying.
I just feel like
it's coercion.
when you go back and you watch like things that were said on like MTV, like TRL when they would like interview people, and on all these like interviews back in the early 2000s, and like late 90s, and the shit these people would say out in the open, like they hid it in plain sight, and we all took it as like a joke, or oh well, that's a life we don't know.
And we're kids at that point, so
Right.
we don't know, but whoever else is. And like, how many of your viewers were not children? You know what I mean? Your
Right.
audience
And
is
we all
children.
just,
we don't get
yeah,
it.
like they just like, they almost hid it in plain sight. Now you look back, now that we're a little bit more knowledgeable, the world itself is a little bit more knowledgeable
Oh,
to
for
like
sure.
what is fucked up and what should have never been allowed to like take place. And you watch these videos, these past interviews, and you're like, what the fuck? Like, why is
Absolutely.
it taking this long? Why is it taking this long? Because Cassie came forward, but then she was paid off in another lawsuit. But then the feds picked it up, I guess. But like, I guess that's why it took so long. Because it took so long for the
They got to build
victims
that case
to
too.
like want to come forward
Mm-hmm.
and realize like sometimes things happen to people and they don't actually realize that it's like sexual assault until like years later, and they like process it, and then they think, and you get old, like that was really fucked up.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think that was like normal, but like when you're in it, or like when it
You don't
like
realize.
you don't, sometimes you just don't, it's not always like as black and white.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. There's definitely some gray in there. There's some gray to everything. You know what I
Right.
mean? Absolutely.
I don't know. It just seems, it sounds like fucking, how long has he been in the public eye? How long ago did fucking Tupac die?
Well, and how long? I mean, even that Harvey Weinstein, it took years to get him. That Rose McGowan, she was blackballed from Hollywood 20 fucking years ago, and we just found out, what, 5 years ago that she was right the whole goddamn time?
Yeah. All of them. What's that one? Corey
Oh, yeah. Corey.
Feldman?
Yep.
Feldman, is that right?
Yep.
That
Corey
like
Feldman.
has been saying it for
So there was the
fucking
two
ever.
Coreys. The two Coreys were like kid stars in the 80s, and they were both getting raped. And the other one ended up ODing or killing himself. And when that happened, this one started speaking out.
Yeah.
And no one fucking believed him. And Hollywood has been painting him as a fucking weirdo maniac for the last 20 years, hoping that you won't listen to his stories.
Yeah.
And he's been telling
Aaron
the truth
Carter
the whole
too.
fucking time.
And he's fucking gone now.
He's gone. All them Carter kids.
Yeah.
What's left? Nick? 'Cause
Nick.
didn't two of the
But I'm
sisters
pretty
die
sure
too?
he's just as fucked up.
Poor,
I don't.
poor
I think
Hollywood
he's
children.
like right in there.
Yeah.
Well, there's some stories about him.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like all these kids. Yeah, I don't know. It's pretty fucking wild.
I told you we were going to talk about this for an hour.
Yeah, it was gonna be a long, but I don't know. There's so much to like wrap your head around with the Diddy like accusations, and obviously it's gonna be like weeks to come. I mean, we talked about this like months ago when we knew they raided the Miami house and he like flew out of the fucking country to the Bahamas or something like that,
Mm-hmm.
and then they found the 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lube. Like, what?
That's really crazy. Like, that's Walmart doesn't have that.
Yeah, like he was stalked. Ready for
So
the next, what they call it, freak off.
parties.
Yeah. I don't, yeah. So, I mean, we'll watch it. We'll keep track of as it unravels and, you know, touch on what we understand. Because some of it,
I'm glad that, like, he is getting brought to justice. I'm glad that they are going to take him and whoever the fuck else down. You know, like, it was really sad when, like, Cassie was out there, like, hey, this happened, and they were like, And then, like, the video came out, and then people were like, oh, I guess we should apologize to her.
yeah,
It's like, why would she have made it up in the first place? Come on.
right. And then I guess there's a new book out by, supposedly, it's The Diary of Kim Porter that someone took.
Oh,
like,
that's going to
created
be
a book.
interesting.
It's out now. Like, you can get on Amazon. But I don't know. Like, it says it's written by so-and-so for Kim Porter, or written by Kim Porter by, I don't know, is the author
Right, because
is
now you
weird,
can't prove
so you don't
what
know
she
like
said.
what actually
Right.
has been fabricated or not.
I believe he killed her for sure.
I mean, I feel like it's got to all come out, right? Can they go after all of it? I don't know.
I hope so.
I mean, you're talking Biggie, Tupac, Kim. I mean, Rand, like so many. I feel like there's other ones
Well,
that he's
like-
probably somehow like attached to too.
And, like, we knew that the Tupac thing was never what they said it was. You know what I mean? And, like, I think even in, like, the Biggie movie, they show that, like, Tupac and Biggie were, like, they were friends. And then someone told someone that, Tupac was going to be somewhere, and he got, like, jumped and robbed. And he assumed that Biggie had set him up, because Biggie had only known, probably fucking Puffy the whole time,
Right.
had, like, set him up to Like, there was a setup robbery, and I believe it was Tupac that was, like, robbed when he was supposed to be meeting Biggie, and apparently only Biggie knew. Might have been the other way around, but I think it was that way. And, like...
But then Biggie was signed by Puff, right?
Right. So they were all friends.
But
and
Tupac wasn't.
No. But
Right.
Tupac and Biggie were friends.
Right.
And I believe the story is that, and I could be other way around, but I believe the story is that Tupac was in New York. He was going to meet up with Biggie, and I believe only Biggie was supposed to know that, and he was robbed on the way by someone who knew him, and so he assumed that Biggie had set him up.
Right.
And then that was how the whole beef started. I believe that's true. It could be the other way around, but it was something like that. So who's to say that it wasn't Puffy that set up the whole thing from the beginning to cause the beef, to cause the, you know what I mean? And then you had your own best friend killed?
Right.
Talking about I'm looking after his kids. Is your fault that his kids don't have him, you fucker? I don't know if it is. But I mean, it seems...
Yeah, I mean, I feel like...
in the realm of possibility at this point.
Yeah. I'm so sorry. That is so annoying. Yeah. Sorry, my brain just went to like another murder thing that was really fucked up that wasn't Biggie or Tupac or Diddy. But like I watched something today about Ashton Kutcher.
Who I got okay.
Who like, so I don't know, back when he like first did that 70s show, right? And he was supposed to go on a date with a girl, and he was watching, it was the night of the Grammys. He was picking this girl up, and they were going to go to a Grammy party after, like an after party for the Grammys. And he was supposed to meet her at 8:00, and he texts her at 8:24 and says, I'm running late, still at so-and-so's house watching the Grammys. I'll be there in a little bit. And she says, perfect. I just got out of the shower. I still have to get ready. And then the next morning she's found dead.
So did he go kill her and then text him back from her phone? Because if you were supposed to pick her up at 8, why would she be getting out of the shower at 8:24?
Right. I guess because he was, I don't know. So then... the next morning, it's announced that, like, it comes out that, like, a body was found at her apartment or whatever. And he calls the cops. This is, like, all in the police report. He calls the cops and says, hey, my hand fingerprints are going to be on her door, and tells the story. Like, and that he showed up at the house. So then he tells the cops, you know, I had a date, blah, 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 blah. I went to go pick her up. No one answered the door. I tried to open the door, but it was locked. And then when I looked through the window, it looked like there was a red wine stain on the floor, but no one answered, so I left. So my fingerprints are going to be on the door handle. And he was never a suspect. They never looked into him. And it's still a cold case.
Does red wine?
No. It's not a cold case. They pegged someone else that like that stabbed a girl like in another town, and like the same way, like a stabbing or whatever. And then they like put this murder on him, even though there was like never any evidence that he was there, no DNA. They never took DNA. Like all this, I don't know. It's fucking wild, and it's just been like swept under the rug, and like nothing was ever. But like, and it was right after like he had gotten popular from like that 70s show.
You know what? I think that the work that he did do for sex trafficking and whatnot is cool and great or whatever, but like he has been a little shady. Like, so I keep seeing things about like him and Puffy. And then remember when Danny Masterson was
and then
convicted of rape, and
like,
they were
support.
like, "Oh, he's great." Are you kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? If your friend's out raping bitches, you shouldn't.
He's not that great.
Defriending
you really
him.
Shouldn't be. Yeah,
right?
It's like literally just found guilty. It's not even like a maybe he did. No, he did.
Right. Like, I just don't understand. Yeah. And like, and how can you be such a big, like, are you so big into sex trafficking to like make yourself feel better? Are you trying to like clean up your karma? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. I don't know. That's just like, I don't know. There's so many people in Hollywood that do some really fucked up shit and get away with it. And granted, we don't know if he actually did it, but like, it's
wild you didn't look into that.
It's just like a weird thing that like why?
And it's weird, like you said, like it's weird that they wouldn't even look into him.
Right. Like, he was never even named a suspect. Like, if I showed up at somebody's house and my fingerprints were on the door handle and I don't have really, like, an alibi or, like, where I was or anything, like, you didn't even, did they even ask for the alibi? I don't know. But, like, definitely, like, as a nobody, I would be named as a suspect.
And, like, I looked through the window and it looked like a red wine stain on the floor. That sounds like the most made up thing I've ever fucking heard in my life.
Yeah. And then there was another guy that came forward and said that he was at the house with her and that they had like they had sex or whatever. And then like, that's why she was like late getting ready for Ashton. But like, they never, like, he was never charged. I don't know. The whole thing was just weird. He was like the building manager or something. I don't know. Yeah, it's fucking wild. And then, I don't know, somebody else got pegged for it, I guess.
The building manager and Ashton Kutcher.
Yeah.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why he would I don't know why he would like murder her. You know what I mean? Like, that would just be weird. Like, it was a first date, but also it's like, it's a first date. Why are you even trying to get into her house?
Right, like, I couldn't imagine someone trying to get in my house for a first date. And, like, I mean, that's the thing, too, is, like, we don't know. We don't know him. Maybe they got in a weird fight and he was all roided up. Maybe he was on steroids. I don't know.
Yeah.
Why would you kill somebody on a first date? Why would you kill somebody anyway? Who would kill her in the first place?
Right.
And, like, you're in your apartment and the door was locked. Who got it? How'd they get out? Maybe it was the building manager because he would have had a key, but, like, even still, why? And was he not looked into?
I don't think so. Not according to what I, like, was looking into.
That's what, was he friends with Ashton Kutcher? Because that's how you got in and out and locked the door. And, like, if you texted her, you're supposed to meet her at 8, and then you text her that you're running late, and then she was like, okay, I just got out of the shower anyway at 8:24. You don't think that was him texting himself back on her phone?
I don't know. I don't know. It's just weird how these people are all connected to other, just like the shit that happens and then nothing ever happens to them.
Yeah, that's... I mean, I think that a lot's going to come out with this. I think this is going to be very interesting.
Yeah, there's way too many people connected through webs. You know what I mean? Even like the fucking Kardashians. They're all like everyone. It's like I just go back to it's like it's literally the music industry Epstein.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And like, so I keep seeing things online. It's like, look, like his crazy parties were after his regular parties, and everybody has regular parties. And just because you're at his regular party doesn't mean you're at your after party. Like, that's fine and that's cool. But how many people are at these fucking after parties? I bet a lot.
Right. Someone said there was an interview somewhere. I don't know. It was like a quote that was like, "You leave before the devil comes out at Diddy's parties." Like, there is like a cutoff time. You know what I mean? Like, people like that don't want to be a part of it. There's like a time to leave. Yeah.
And it's funny, so...
Which is, like, and you know what? If people have, like, fucking kinky fantasy, whatever, and that's what they want to do, and they want to be a part of these, like, sex parties, that's fine as long as they're of age, consented, and not fucking drugged.
That's like, the thing. That's the thing. That's the thing, right? Do whatever the fuck you want. We don't care. We don't judge.
Yeah, like, I mean, I'm not coming, but, like, I mean...
Oh, good. That's pretty good.
But
be legal adults about it.
Yeah, just do it, you know,
legally,
consensually.
There are like actual like sex clubs where you can go and you can do these things together in like a legal consenting manner, and then you can choose if you're doing drugs or not.
Right.
But you shouldn't have someone else choosing if you're doing drugs, or choosing if you're being involved. You should be making these choices.
Right.
So I made that little throwback Thursday. Did you ever see the movie Get Him to the Greek?
No, but you've like talked about it where it's literally like him and...
It's him!
Yeah. Like he's just playing himself.
He's playing himself, and like the whole thing of the movie was that he was playing like an exaggerated version of himself. But now it seems like he was playing a toned down version of himself. Because like in the movie he's like it's like this singer or this guy from this band, and he's like all drugged up, and like Jonah Hill's character, like, is a fan and wants him to, like, be sober and have a good concert. And, like, Diddy is the owner of the record label. And he's like, I don't give a fuck. Just get in there. Give him all the drugs you want. And at one point, like, out of snow, it's Russell Brand. And he's like, you know, put these drugs up your ass. And Jonah Hill's like, no. And he calls Diddy. And Diddy's like, what do you mean? Put the drugs up your ass. What are you talking about?
Oh
and it's like, the whole time, Diddy's like, I'm going to mind fuck you guys. And he, like, is a complete crazy person to, like, get what he wants.
Yeah, but it's probably how it is in real life. Yeah.
It turned out that, yeah, like, he's worse than Sergio the whole time.
Aaliyah is another death that is very questionable.
Yeah. And you know what? I bet. I've always thought that her death was fucking... That was
what you made me... When you said the drugs in the plane, right? Didn't you just say that? Something about drugs in a plane?
Yeah.
There's, like, talk speculation or whatever that Aaliyah was literally carried onto the plane because
She didn't want to get on that plane.
She didn't want to get on the plane, and they drugged her to put her on the plane.
Yeah, I heard that she didn't want to get on that plane.
And that the pilot of the plane wasn't even the pilot that was supposed to be flying that plane. The plane was not supposed to go, so they found a brand new pilot, like...
Just licensed.
Just licensed, yeah. And he was the pilot.
I've heard
and
that
then
before.
she was drugged to even be put on it, so that's a whole...
That's a whole fucking thing.
Yeah. Like, what happened? I mean, I guess I don't remember, like... The thing, when all this was happening, too...
We were children?
Well, we were children, but there wasn't social media. So, like, the or internet.
Right,
so
all you got was what MTV News told you.
So, like, the accessibility to information wasn't there. So, like, they could get away with that shit. And I think that's why it's, like, they're not getting away with it now, because people are, like, digging it up, and, like, and now mass population is hearing it and seeing it from, like, a different perspective. So it's harder. Hollywood is having a very, like... a harder time getting away with the bullshit they got away with for fucking centuries because of social media and the internet.
Absolutely agree. Right, we were kids, and like you got
whatever fucking the news or MTV told you, like you said. Like it wasn't, you couldn't, or the newspaper, like you couldn't just Google and find what like you wanted, and there wasn't people like with video cameras on the ground taking video. You know what I mean? Like that shit wasn't like.
It wasn't like that. Like VH1 do behind the music, but like they had a part in that.
Right. Like MTV Cribs, but
right. Remember, was it the Yin Yang Twins? They went to the Yin Yang Twins' house, and it was literally just like a shack in the middle of the woods in like North Carolina.
I don't remember that.
And like everybody else had these mansions, and Yin Yang Twins, it was literally like a fucking trap house in the middle of the goddamn woods.
I don't remember that. I'm like, was that Trainwheel and Christopher?
That's what I thought. So this motherfucker's stalking us.
Yeah. Okay, well, we have talked for a really long time, but before we go, I had a few other things that I just wanted to touch on. Let me find it. Fuck, sorry. Oh, I sure had wiped.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I already brought it up. Oh, I know what you wanted to talk about. Well, I don't know exactly what happened, but I remember you mentioning it.
The Zach Bryan. Okay.
Brian.
Yeah. So I don't know, this isn't very interesting after like everything we just talked about, but just pretty much that like he was drunkenly on Twitter, and then he like posted something that said Kanye is greater, like Kanye greater than sign Taylor, and everyone like,
well, he's wrong.
And then he had to like post an apology and say that he was like drunk, and when it wasn't just that, he had like this like fucking 4 things of stories of him like just ranting, and then he like the next day was like, I'm sorry, I'm drunk, I'm going through things. And it's like, okay, well, you can go through things, but that doesn't mean you have to like bring other people down. And like, where are you trying to like accomplish by doing that? You know what I mean? Like, what were you trying to accomplish? And then to make matters worse, like his girlfriend Brianna Chicken Fry, I don't know what her real name is, I forget.
Oh, was that her
That's
name?
her TikTok name. Is on like this podcast called BFF. I think that's what it's called, with Dave Portnoy, the fucking bar.
Oh, he's so fucking annoying. Yeah. One Bite
and
Pizza Boy.
And he thinks he's
so fucking cool.
He thinks he's like King Swifty, whatever. And like Flavor Flav like commented recently, like when he called himself King Swifty, Flavor Flav says, "Excuse me."
Right. No, it's obviously
like, he has been dubbed by the Swifties King Swifty.
Yeah.
But I don't know, it's just all like, again, this weird interweb thing where it's like, what are you even doing? And like Zach Bryan is a great musician, but he has a terrible track record, like, with his past relationships, you know what I mean? Like, he literally filed for divorce with his ex-wife while she was deployed. Like, sent her papers through the mail to where she was deployed to divorce her because he was cheating on her.
Wow.
Yeah.
All the country singers, I thought they loved the troops. They don't divorce them during the deployment.
Yeah, right? I don't know. It was weird. He's not, I guess is he country? He's more like...
I thought he was country.
Like folky, I guess.
Oh.
I guess kind of. I don't know what you would consider him.
I thought it was country.
I don't know. It was weird, but there's more to it. He apologized.
Sounds like maybe he's just a little...
And then deleted it. He was another one that then deleted his Twitter account. But I have, okay, so we didn't really get to Disney because we had so much to talk about. But I had one little like snippet thing that I found that said the voices of Mickey Mouse and Minnie Mouse are actually married in real life.
Oh, that's so cute.
Yeah. I don't know when their
Oh, well, that's
voices
not the
were.
current Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, like,
that's not,
when.
because it's like Brett Ewen now.
It says, Wayne Allwine and Russell Taylor, the voices behind Disney's iconic characters Mickey and Minnie, shared a heartwarming love story. After voicing the beloved characters for years, they fell in love in real life and married in 1991. So the Mickey and Minnie Mouse voices of the early 80s or the late 80s.
Right. Okay, that makes sense. Because I was like, because I know the guy that does it. And I don't know him personally, but like I.
Oh, well, that's really sad. The couple remained together until Wayne's death in 2009. They're not. Why is this news right now? They're not even together anymore.
Well, that's why when you showed, I was like,
He
that's not
died.
the guy that does Mickey Mouse.
But
now I don't know.
That was literally 8 hours ago. They wanted to tell me about that. I thought it was cute, but now I'm like, oh well, that's sad. He's dead.
Good thing you brought that up.
Good thing about. Wait, to end this podcast.
Way to bring down the night.
The original voice of Mickey
is dead.
Was married to Minnie, but now he's dead.
R.I.P.
And then she remarried the voice of Goofy. I'm just kidding.
That would have been. See, that would have been worth it. We'll just pretend like that part's true. Because it's the internet. We can make shit up.
We can make shit up.
Minnie married Goofy. Congratulations.
All right. Well, on that note, Momtok Diddy, Minnie and Mickey,
all that.
Ashton.
Jazz.
I don't fucking know. We talked about a lot. Rambled. Thanks for listening.
If you like us, tell your friends.
Yeah. Comment, subscribe,
follow,
share.
Oh, right. Follow and subscribe is the same thing.
No, I think it's called different.
On YouTube, it's like, subscribe.
Yeah, and probably other places it's called follow.
Right. All right. Cool.
Do all the things.
Do it
to help us be seen. And let other people listen to our ramblings.
Yeah, because it's good stuff.
It is good stuff. I mean, we find it great.
I think we're hilarious.
I think it's great.
I'm interested.
I think everybody should listen.
I would.
Me too.
Yeah.
I do.
I'm here.
Sometimes I can't listen to my own voice.
Yeah. Sometimes I feel like, oh, that current is annoying.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, Kim makes good points. And I'm like, oh, I just talk over her the whole time. And sometimes I can't help it.
I say like too much.
I say a lot. All right. So on that note,
peace out. K-Town down. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for being here.